Hey everyone, welcome to my live show again. So happy to have you here. I'm Susan Winter and I love the pre-roll that you guys are having with me. This is just great. Today we have a really important topic. It is how to love another person without losing yourself. This is a big deal. And this is why when you have a breakup, why it hurts so much, because we have somehow just allowed ourselves to get lost in this other person. So there are a couple of things that happen along the process. But before I get into that, I want to thank all of you for showing up. Hi, Victoria from Massachusetts. Thank you for your lovely message, and all of you that I wrote before. I want to thank those of you that tuned into my first ever worldwide presentation of the Love a la carte method. This is my methodology to help you get a custom designed relationship that actually works for you in the real world, how you like it. Sort of like, I'll have the hamburger, but I don't want the bun, and I don't want French fries, I like sweet potato fries. So I had the opportunity to present this to the International Health Festival, a mental health festival, and many of you were on. We blew out their attendance numbers. They were at like 150 attendees when we just opened up the information. So all of you, those of you in my newsletter got a shout out about that. All of you who came, thank you so much, because many of you participated. I might not have had a chance to answer your questions. We had so many, but I want to thank you for joining me on different platforms. You know, this is really fun. Like if I have an Instagram Live or I'm doing something here. So thank you, all of you. Now, this request, I take these from you. These are more extensive conversations, a little bit more like the pre-edited versions that I submit every Tuesday, you know, with a topic or a concern for you that are dating or in a relationship. And this one has been submitted by Shady Booty. So Shady Booty, I don't know if you saw that, but I took this from you. Hi, Ria, Cole, Stavrula, Sean. Oh, Sean Horn. Hi, how are you doing? Thank you. Great to see you here. Sister Anastasia. Yes, Anne, Amani, EB. Okay, this is wonderful. Thank you. And love all you guys. You're so fantastic. So let's talk about this very big topic of losing ourselves in loving another, and how can we preserve our identity and our internal cohesion while in the midst of merging with another human being. So there are four things I want to talk about. And the first thing, actually, Shady Booty, you better show up because I did this one for you. Okay. Shady said that concern, I think it's a she, said she was more worried about losing yourself, losing your identity inside the relationship. So let's talk with identity. I will get to general questions after we're done with this commentary, just so you know. So if you have questions choosing between two people or what's going on with the breakup, let me just get through this information first. If I don't see it, just keep listing it again and I'll come back to it. And again, if you have a pertinent question, not now, but as I'm done presenting this, I will open up Super Chat, and so then you can give me a question, okay? But I really want to present this. Identity. Now, the way to not lose your identity when you enter a relationship is to have a strong sense of your own personal identity to begin with. But those of you who are young and dating, that's not fully formed yet. You don't know who you are yet. You are still growing and learning. And it would almost be a discredit to yourself to say, okay, this is it, I'm done, and this is who I am now. Because we always want to be in the process of moving forward and amending our design and becoming the richer, fuller part of ourselves. So we tend to, in a relationship, give up our identity for, some people can. Let me rephrase that. Some people can, in a relationship, in a desire to merge, connect, and be, mirroring their partner, they can start to lose their own identity by morphing into what this person wants, either people-pleasing and seeking their approval, or if your partner has a thing, they wear black blue jeans, and so you get a pair of black blue jeans to fit in. Or I see this all the time, guys, and I'm not the only one. I go down the street and I see a couple, a straight couple, I don't know, it's like they're dressed exactly the same. It's like, I don't know who set the pattern. I think it's the guy, and the woman just, like, if he's got a windbreaker and khaki pants and white sneakers, she's got a windbreaker, khaki pants and white sneakers. It's this, you don't want to lose yourself. You want to retain your identity. Remember, the reason they fell for you is because they liked who you were. We don't need to be dating a carbon copy of ourselves. We need to be dating somebody that complements us. And it's okay to have a little challenge, and it's okay to have a little bit of difference. We want to be together and resonant enough so that we create cohesion, but we want to have our own individuality. I did, at one time in my life, amend myself for a partner. He was a Spaniard from Madrid and had this thing about clothes were more toned down in color and the hair was a little more drab. The men are the peacocks there, not the females. And a very classic clothes with the little like Oxford shirt and the little, oh God. I did it for him, but I was conscious of the fact that I was doing it for him because I thought to myself, okay, this is the style he likes. He's crazy about this. That's what we call smart casual on the Upper East Side core club material that I wear if I go to Polo in Greenwich. That's the outfit. So I did that only to expand and see, all right, do I like this? And if I like it, how much of it do I want to keep? There is another version of identity where you lose yourself. You lose your opinions. You lose your foundational beliefs. Let me just see what people are saying here. Okay, you're all talking to each other about being a doormat. Okay, so one is your identity. We want to hold on to our own identity. And the other is purpose and passion. You came into the relationship, hopefully with a goal other than, oh, I want to capture this person, right? You came into the relationship because it would edify your life in some way. Having this person in this relationship would make your life richer, warmer. You'd have a travel companion, somebody to make love to. It'd make the weekends, fabulous. Whatever, somebody that will go to cooking class with me, somebody else to walk the dog, whatever, somebody to help me raise my kids. So you have a purpose and a passion. You cannot let your partner's passion and purpose eclipse yours. You can support them, but we don't want to be lost in their passion. And this happens, I think, more so with women. Men, I'm not saying it isn't that way with you, but it tends to be a female tendency to be more mutable. We are the ones who are far more fluid. And if your whole thing is, my passion is I'm doing a whole house redo, then we just roll up our sleeves and, okay, that's our thing. That's what we're doing now. Or I'm doing this startup. And so you're like, okay, honey, I'm helping you with the startup, but just don't lose your own goals. So it's very important in all of these things I'm going to tell you to ask yourself if you feel yourself slipping over the edge and losing who you are. And you'll know that because you'll just be taking your cues from them. Meaning every response, you kind of check, what would she say? Oh, what should I say? Political opinions too, okay? So keep your own counsel, keep your own beliefs. The other area where we can lose ourselves are boundaries. We can be so wanting to be with our partner. Shady booty, this is for you. And sorry, I spelled it Bootie. I got a little confused what kind of booty it was. Anyway, this is for you. So I'm looking for your input. So we can also lose ourselves with boundaries. And Klaus and the other therapists can speak to this. In an effort to please our partner, we may be compromising many things that feel safe and comfortable for us. We may be doing things that don't feel right on the inside, but we're afraid to go against them because we so want to please them. If you find that you're at that point, you got to do a massive pull yourself up by the bootstraps because you're in trouble. That means now your partner's dictates, your partner's opinion. What your partner says is more important than your gut, your own intuition, your own safety boundaries. Our boundaries are our body's natural way, our mind's natural way of saying, uh-oh, something's not cool here. I've gone I've compromised myself to a point that I am not comfortable. Okay, so that's really important. And the last thing is opinions and beliefs. How many times have you, just to not make waves, oh, especially this last political election, how many of you like just don't say anything to your partner, like, oh yeah, I can understand that. And then when it comes time to vote, you're like, I'm voting for this one. I'm not telling my partner, right? So you are allowed to have your own beliefs and your own opinions. Certainly the most important person in our life, our partner, we want them to respect our opinion. You don't have to believe what they believe, and they don't have to believe what you believe. Foundationally, it would be preferable if you are on the same path and you have the same core values, obviously. But we want to always make sure that if you can retain an awareness of these four categories, your identity, your purpose, your boundaries, and your own opinions and beliefs, then when you get a trigger, something indicates to you, uh-oh, I'm in funny territory. I feel like I've lost myself. I'm editing myself. Why did I say that? I don't believe that. Then we can start to take a look at that. And before you even talk to your partner, ask yourself, take a look at the situation, do a whole examination. Because in partnership, you really want to be clear on what battles you want to fight. Battles for your identity, yes. Just take a look at the entire template, take a look at the timing. You can always have a discussion at a later time. If you need to go over the ground rules for the relationship, you can certainly do that in private, not at a public event. That's not the time to have it. But just remember that you need to be you. And the reason this becomes so difficult, Shady Booty and others, let me see. Let's see, I'm so glad that you all are talking to each other here. We are doing this intimate dance where we are merging with another human being. And part of that is that it's what I call an ego melt. You surrender to this sense of unity, and the lines that divide people from each other with your lover just dissipate. And as you merge with them, it is a task to try to figure out who's who and what's what. So this is a normal part of the love experience. We want to combine what we know is going to happen with some awareness and forethought. Because don't worry, once the yummy sensual feeling of just like the love and all the hormones that are going off in your body and the chemicals, and then when you're done with that, you got to go, wait, did I just say I'd go to a hockey game? What did I do? I don't know that I want to do that. Wait, I was supposed to go to that concert with my friends. I've had tickets for 4 months. Oh my God, what did I do? So this is where you start to catch yourself. Shady Booty, this is a wonderful, wonderful question, because it is so easy to lose ourselves when loving another. And by the way, I have friends who are rational, grounded. They have psychology coming out of their pores. They know, my God, they got a head full of stuff. And they are in the midst of watching themselves lose because a partner is way too important. And the fear of losing that partner makes them eliminate their entire personal experience. Okay, so hang on. $20. We are starting to have the super chat come in, so I will honor the super chat. If I miss something, thank you. I love them. Thank you, Susan. You're amazing. Okay. So I'm going to now move to super chat, but if you have something to say or you have a commentary about yourself, how you lost yourself, how you got yourself back, something you want to talk about this, preferably, or another topic, I'm fine, and you can do it in super chat. Okay. Let's see. Wendy Janae. Thank you, Wendy, for the $20. Okay. Do you have any advice on how to come back to yourself once you've lost yourself? Oh my God, you're brilliant. I love you people. One of the hardest, most uncomfortable things to do is focus on yourself after neglecting yourself for your partner for so long. Thank you. Everyone, wow. Bullseye. Oh my God, this is so exciting. I'm so excited. Bullseye. One, you know you lost yourself. You're halfway there. It's the people that have no idea. They're gone. These are the ones we worry about. You've had a friend there. You can't, they don't even know what you're talking about. You're like, have you thought of taking a day away from Brad? Oh, no, I don't know. I'm working 2 jobs to help him. Blah, blah, blah. I haven't seen him. So one, we recognize it. Remember, our tank can only go so low. You'll start to feel resentment. You'll start to realize that you are not getting back what you're giving. And it may not be that your partner is withholding or mean or abusive. It could be that your partner is just like, I think this is great. She likes everything I like. Oh my God, this is wonderful. I just worked with a guy this weekend that just cruise control through his relationship. The woman saw him when he wanted to see her. She never complained. She was kind. She was sweet. She cooked him food. She made love to him. One day after a year and a half, she was done. He took advantage of it because he thought, wow, this is the best relationship I've ever had. I don't have to do anything but what I want. And there she is. And now he can't get her back because she's done. She's done. So, Wendy, let me answer this 2 ways, and they're both a little difficult. One way is if you're broken up, easier. If you lost yourself, how do you come back to yourself once you've lost yourself? If you've broken up and the relationship is over and you had to evacuate for your own good, it's a little bit easier because you're committed to repair. You're licking your wounds, your friends are there, you're reading books, you're digging into your spirituality, you're maybe seeking help professionally, so you're in a much better position. It's much harder to recalibrate in real life, in real time, right? This is where, first thing I'd say is step back, look at everything you've committed yourself to doing with this person or for this person. Well, I said I'd pick up his mother. I said I'd drive the kids to 9 of their 10 classes. I'm financially helping the brother. I'm going to do this project for him because, start to look at your commitments. Take some off your plate. Go back to your partner and say, I saw, you know what, I'm completely overextended. I can't do this. Could you do this? Well, you said you would. I know. But I'm telling you now I can't. I can't do that and the 5 other things we've got to do. I need you to help me on this. Would you do that? I'd really appreciate it. So look at your commitments and where you're overextended. 2, look at the exact place where you know you're compromised. Did you allow something to happen that made you feel uncomfortable, sexually or otherwise? Did you find yourself with people that really made you feel uncomfortable, but you tried to do it to be a good partner, and you are convinced these are not your people? Sometimes at the risk, you've got to be willing sometimes to recover yourself. You've got to be willing to play hardball with your mate. If they're really somebody that should be in your life and you pull back and make some changes and speak up and say, your work buddies, I am so uncomfortable. I'm not a gamer. I don't speak that language. I understand 2 or 3 words out of every 5 sentences, the, to, it, at, that's it. And I'm just bored to death. And you guys are in your own world. I know you want to bring me there. I know it's your Saturday night, but you know what? How about this? One Saturday, you go out with them. The next Saturday, we have a date. And be with your friends, but don't make me do it too. So start to identify where you have given up your power, where you have amended yourself. Also start to see, where do you edit yourself as far as you're speaking? How do you not show up? How are you afraid? If you're in a relationship and it's solid, like you're living together, it's a marriage, you could come forward with this whole realization, baby, I lost myself. Love you. I went on a trip to you. Someplace I'm way back there. I don't even have luggage with me. I don't even know what I'm doing. I got blisters on my feet. I don't know where I ended up. Oh my goodness. I need to kind of catch up. And so as I discover what I need to do for myself, I'm asking for you to help me. Just understand the best way I can love you is when I'm strong and I'm good, because then we have no problems. So I hope that helps you. And what a brilliant, brilliant question, Wendy. Gosh, thank you so much. This is just wonderful. Let me get to some more of these. Blues Jay. Okay, and again, there are times I miss your comments. And if I miss your comments, write me and let me know. Let's see, mindset for an arranged marriage. Okay. You obviously want that, right? Or you're willing to do it. I am not opposed to these. Guys, I know you're going to just fall over sideways, but there were times I actually thought if I threw a dart at the Manhattan phone book, that might be more accurate than my selection process. So there was a time where I told everybody, just set me up. Everybody I knew, the garage guy that parked my car, the doorman, my girlfriend. That's when I wrote the article, 98 Dates, 9 Months, Here's What I Learned. Well, I was actually trying to get over somebody, so I wasn't in the mood to really meet anybody, but I just said, you pick for me, okay? Now, in your culture, the thing about an arranged marriage is you are going to be partners in a bigger purpose. So you are aligning families. You are going to be raising children. This is going to be your teammate. Look at this person more like your co-CEOs. And you're creating a company together. This is company, my family, our family, right? As opposed to a love marriage, which is fine too, your chances of staying together are far greater because you didn't start by like, oh, and if you don't see me and get me and you got to be my soulmate, and if I don't feel like I can resonate with you and, you don't like the kind of music I like, so we're not meant to be together, and the passion used to be there and now it's not, so I'm out of here. You've actually got a better chance than most of us in love matches because there's a commitment to what you want to create. My question to you, you're on my channel. It's rather progressive, right? And your consciousness is rather forward, or you wouldn't be here. So the only question you really need to know, you want to make sure that you agree with this choice. I know you want to please your family. I know you want to please your relatives. I know it is societal pressure. But you better psychologically be on board and agree with it, because if you have any part of you that is fighting it but doing it out of a sense of duty, you will fail. You will fail. You're actually kind of indicating this. Use me, just use another name. Say, Sandra White, the woman I follow on YouTube, said, you got to be 100% on board philosophically with that concept for this to work for you. Otherwise, you're just doing what your parents want, and you're going to resent them and resent this poor woman you're set up with. Or guy, I don't know what's going on here. So check in with yourself and know your truth. Okay? Great question. Oh my goodness, you guys are so good. Let's see, what else do we have here? Amy Yee, $10. Thank you. What makes us lose ourselves in romantic relationships? It is the merging. The egos we just drop all of our guard. Is it determined with our own self-esteem, or is there certain traits, situations, and a partner that make us lose ourselves without knowing we are? For individuals that have a lesser sense of who they are, a lesser connection to their truth, they can be easily swayed and manipulated into anything. And it wouldn't be that you would lose yourself in love, but you would lose your ability to choose, proactively choose, were you to find yourself at the hands of a controlling and manipulative partner. And so number two, where you say traits or situations in a partner that make us lose ourselves without knowing we are. Yes, people gaslight you, narcissists. It is, remember, narcissists are charismatic. This is how they get away with the bad stuff to begin with. They're so compelling. They shine the light on us. We're the center of the world. We get so hooked on this kind of feeling. And before we know it, we're doing anything to get that drug of approval and their love again. So if you are with an inherently abusive person, by the way, they don't identify themselves. It's not like, hi, I'm Hank. I'm a known narcissist. Just signed up for the ride with you. What do you think? I'm going to manipulate you and control your mind. Yeah, they don't tell us this. Wouldn't it be great if they did? Everybody should have like some little label, like you have the labels and you pull them off the, you're not supposed to pull them off the chairs or the pillows, but they should have like some little label like narcissist, abusive, mean to animals, whatever, but I was a Boy Scout, whatever. So, so watch out for, we are looking, if you're going to combine your life with another person, you're going to fall in love with them, you're buying the whole package. Now, I don't expect anybody to be fantastic at this. This is trial and error. There are no mistakes in this. Mistakes are what happens when we already know something and we choose to forget it. A mistake is where, it's not, let me back up. It's not a mistake if you're learning and you're like, oh, wow, I didn't know that. Not doing that again. It becomes a mistake if the same situation happens, even in a slightly different format, and you can't catch it. Or you see it and you go, well, maybe this time it'll be different. So don't worry about this. We live and love and learn, okay? What else do we have here? That was Amy. I hope I didn't miss anybody. Again, if I did. Okay. So Shady, do you like that I did this for you and everybody else? Chris says, I want to meet my soulmate, but I don't know if I'm either too picky or just refusing to settle for something that does not feel right. The ones who make me feel good tend to hurt me the most. Okay, good information. Why don't we try something in the middle? The porridge is too hot, it's going to hurt you. The porridge is too cold, you're bored to death. Let's look for something in the middle. Why don't you look for something that excites you, but makes you feel calm at the same time? And also, when you meet somebody, if they're willing and you've had a couple dates with them, take them around your most solid best friend, relative, whatever. The person that you trust, that one person in your whole group that just has laser, they can see through people. Bring them around the person and say, hey, what do you think? Am I repeating a pattern? What's going on here? Kind of like this person. What's going to happen? Okay? But I don't know what you're doing in your interactions with them, and that's the kind of stuff I'd really need to know. Okay, you're all talking to each other. Shady, thank you so much. You are a gem among rocks. Oh my God. Woo! I love that. A gem among rocks. Mwah. Thank you, Shady. And Shady, anything you want to say? Let's see. Sister Anastasia, how do we get out of a toxic relationship? Well, one, leave. That's good. Physically leave if you can. If you're not living with them, most of you are dating. Some of you, are involved with people, but not everybody here is in a marriage or committed relationship. And if you are, you're just checking in. If it's toxic, if you're using that word, you've tried to sort this out already. And we all have to have a point where we say, this is my enough is enough point. And sometimes in love, we keep thinking, oh my God, where's my bottom? Like an alcoholic, it's like, where's your bottom? You wrapped your car around a tree. That's not your bottom. Oh, you're in a hospital and your leg went numb. That's not a bottom. Oh, you got cirrhosis of a liver. That's not a bottom. So you don't know where your line is going to go, and you're just going to say to yourself, no more. That's it. But if you're aware of this toxic, that means, you're onto the right information. Okay, so Jay, $5. What do we have here? JC, hi. Some of you guys I recognize from before. Okay. What in our past childhood, etc., could have predisposed us to become vulnerable to losing ourselves? Is it advisable to look back and reflect? Okay, I am not a therapist. Klaus and some of the other people here who are therapists and in the therapeutic community are probably better, far better, to tell you what exactly it is. Predisposed to become vulnerable to losing ourselves. I had a very interesting childhood, extremely eventful. And for me, I think things were extremely emotional. I'm thank God that my mind kept me so busy trying to figure out everything that I was seeing, that I had some diversion, and that I was able to separate myself, the physical, from the observer. Um, there can be a number of things. If you have an unstable environment where your primary caregivers are inconsistent, that can set you up to have that anxiety where you're seeking the comfort and security. And Klaus and everybody else here, please chime in because you guys are the real deal. But the point is it advisable to look back and reflect? Now, I'm sorry, therapists, for me, for the kind of work that I do, I could sit here for 3 years and figure out where it came from. I would rather spend several days and a number of therapy sessions dealing with what is and figure out the solution. So I care less where it came from, and I care much more about what can I do in the real world today, right now, to fix it. I don't have the luxury of going back and going over all the trauma I've gone through. Nightmare. Don't need to do it. How does it impact me now? What other choices can I make? How can I protect myself? How can I be in tune with myself? But that is my personal attitude, and that is my opinion, okay? Doesn't mean it's the truth. It happens to be my truth. I remember in the 80s, everybody was in therapy for just like, they were, it wasn't like positive therapy like we have now. I mean, they were just going over and over and over and over stuff. And I had one therapist that had me do that. And I got so depressed. I said, I'm so depressed talking about these horrible things. They happened. What can I do? I just want to move forward. It happened. Now what? Now what? So that's where I'm at. That's my philosophy, and I hope that helps you. Let's see. JC, okay, 10 euros. Who do we have here? Mona C. Hi, I've seen you here before, Mona. How are you doing? I lost myself to someone and finally over it. Wow, congratulations. Now I'm happy to focus on myself. Recently, I met someone new, but have no expectations, don't even want to be too excited or invested right away. Good move. Your pendulum is recalibrating. Don't push it. You didn't come here out of nowhere. Your guidance taught you to slow down a bit and make an accurate assessment. I like the concept. If you ran full steam ahead, got involved in something and realized you'd lost control of yourself, to dial yourself back, heal yourself, and observe this person, interact. The only thing I would add to this is let's pre-plan metaphysically, okay, for the best possible outcome. Let us add to our mental possibilities. The possibility exists that this might be a really good, healthy relationship. Possibility exists that this might be a really nice human being. While I know the other exists and I am vigilant to protect myself, let me not exclude the possibility that this could be something wonderful, that excites me, that delights me, and that may be the reward for all my hard work. So if you can put that in while you're cautiously assessing this person and afraid to get your hopes up, be rational, but have a positive mentality. Does that make any sense to put the two together? Thank you, Mona. C, Mona, thank you, C. Let me see, who else do I have here? Okay. JC, thank you for sharing your story, Susan. I agree too. Thank you, JC. Oh, Klaus, I'd love to see what you have to say about this. Okay, let me see. I see you in here someplace. Hang on, everyone, while I look for these. Klaus, people tend to lose oneself when we don't validate our own worthiness. It's like a skill that can be learned over a lot of training and self-awareness. So Klaus is from the Nordic countries, and he's a therapist. And so I love the fact that he's commenting here, because I need my therapist to back me up on this stuff and tell me if I'm, not correct. So sometimes it's intuitive, and everybody has their own way of doing things. So thank you for that. I'll say this, though. The loves of your lives always show up out of nowhere, in my own opinion, when you least expect them, but you are emotionally open. Great, 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 great. Love this. Okay. Any other questions? Know your worth. Great. Okay. Susan, please give me advice. Rose, you're brokenhearted, but I don't know why. There's a lot of comments here, Rose. Do you want to put it in a super chat? Okay. Left me even though he treats me badly. Keep blaming myself for making my ex change from a gentleman to a monster. He seems like Prince Charming to his new girlfriend while I'm stuck with low something self-esteem and self-blame. I gotta go way, 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 way back in here. She lost herself. My ex-boyfriend love bombed me so much at first. Okay, first of all, ding, 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 ding. All you guys, what does this sound like? Hello, that's the narcissist bell. Ding, 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 ding. Just saying, right off the top, confident, independent me started to rely on him and became needy. Okay, all right. I opened my heart, but he started to treat me with less attentive and less love. Okay, narcissist, got it, got it. Then she says, the table is turned. I loved him more. I still feel nothing without him. I don't know why the man who put 100% in me changed to 1% effort. We do. Hang on to this channel. We do. Yeah. Honey, he was never going to be that guy. That's the bait he used to catch you. Am I right, folks? Let's help Rose out here. She was desperate. You didn't lose 100%. You were baited with 100%, but the 100% was on the hook. It was just the lure. And then when you bit it, it pulled back. You never got a bite of the real 100%, you know? So this is a technique, and don't think it's going to be different for the next person. So this is a game we play with ourselves, and I know because I used to do it too. Like, oh my God, he's going to give her everything he didn't give me. No. He's going to be with her some version of what he was with me. Considering I know I'm a pretty good partner and pretty skilled even before I did this kind of work, I know how to communicate. I'm very open-minded. I'm very fair. I'm very rational. You got to be really bad to irritate me, really bad. And so the next girl's not going to get any new and improved thing. Oh, he may have better clothes from having hung out with me. He may have gone to far better places than he would have gone to normally, but he is who he is, and he's going to do what he does because that is who he is. Remember, human growth and evolution, it's kind of like on us. And people at some point in their life just go, oh, this is who I am. I am who I am. I'm not doing it anymore. This is what we do. This is what we think. And they stop. They stop. They don't grow. They don't question. They don't explore. I am constantly renewing myself. I am constantly questioning myself, not because I don't believe in myself, but just saying, like if I've believed something for a long time, do I still believe that? Given all the input now, do I still believe what I thought I believed? And if I believe it, is there another shading or another kind of disclaimer line underneath it? And I think that's important. We have to let life keep pushing us forward. So we don't want to just stop. But girl, Rose, this guy, he's a player because that is the hallmark. Go back and watch every single thing that I've got about a player. And there's, I've got one video, I think it's how to date a player and survive. It's basically, you don't really fall for them. But that was not real. What you saw was game, and that was manipulation. Real love opens up a little more slowly, but it's consistent. And even if you have ups and downs, because the beginnings of relationships do, the beginnings are kind of like walking on thin ice. There's a lot of assumption, there's fear, there's self-editing. We want to be honest and, just completely ourselves, and then we kind of get cautious sometimes and reactive. But you met a player. I'm sorry. And don't for a moment think the new woman's got something special. She's just getting the show all over again. Okay, so let's see what this is. Vianne, €4.99. Thank you very much. Did I answer a question of yours, or are you just giving me a shout out for that? Thank you so much. I think I've done everyone. I just want to make sure, again, if for some reason or other I missed your super chat, I will address it in big cap letters. Ooh, I missed this. Marie, okay. Oh, okay, Marie. Oh, thank goodness I went back. Okay, Marie, $5 US. I choose to stay a single parent to my 2-year-old and build my businesses so my daughter can have a wonderful life. I love being single with my baby. Honey, single by choice, self-partnered, that's a deal. That's a real thing. By the way, one of the greatest freedoms in the world and the greatest liberation from insanity, people-pleasing, and losing yourself and needing somebody so much that you'll do anything to have them and compromise any part of yourself is to come to peace with being with yourself. I cannot explain the freedom of anxiety when there is nothing gnawing at you on the inside, like this empty hole. It's just, I always felt like it was raccoons in my stomach. Like, I want, I want. Like I needed that love. And then the day, well, it was a very long time coming through a lot of twists and turns and a lot of hard work, where I went, whatever. When you love being alone, when you love your own company, when you love being with your child, when you are complete within yourself, another person is an option or not even necessary. And if they're an option, you're going to have them the way you want them. And for the person that worried that they were too picky, you don't settle. You're comfortable with yourself, and it's such a powerful position from which to choose a prospective mate. That you're good. All they're bringing you is extra. And you don't even need it, but you're willing to entertain it. And if they do, fantastic. And if they don't show up like that, well, not working for me. Thank you very much. So fabulous, fabulous. Congratulations. I think this is wonderful. I just want to make sure I didn't miss anybody else here. Okay. I think I've got all the old ones. Boy, you guys write a lot. This is so cute. I love it. Let me see what else. Childhood past, we did this. Mona, JC, thank you for your story. Okay, what else do we have here? We have this lady. Okay. Littleman 787, 5 pounds. Thank you so much. Had casual with a younger girl and recently, but I did involved. Was immature, unavailable, low self-esteem. I'm okay, but sometimes get upset. I'm okay. It's a little bit hard because of the translation. I don't know. I think you're saying that this is you, correct? But I did involve. I think you're saying you were, to some degree, emotionally involved. Who was immature, unavailable, low self-esteem? I think it's the other person. I'm okay, but sometimes get upset. Okay. Casual with a younger girl. Now, really. What did you expect? No offense. Casual sex, casual relationship. You're having sex, and I don't know what else, with somebody younger who doesn't know themselves yet and doesn't know what they want. And they really don't have a great commitment to be there, nor do they have a firm idea of what they'd like to create. Oh, ask them for love a la carte. Ask them to design their relationship. They're like, what? What are you talking about? So when you're young, you're dating somebody young, and you don't come in with a clear idea of what you want to create. And I don't mean get, I mean create. Proactively, you do it. You put down the architecture and work with this person to create that, right? If you don't know, you're going to get what they're capable of giving you. So you had a casual relationship. There's no reason to feel badly. But what this tells me is that you actually want a relationship, Maybe you took casual because that's what she was willing to give you, or maybe you took casual because you thought that's what you wanted. But the fact that you're on this channel, the fact that you're bothering to pay and ask for a question indicates to me that you have more content emotionally than you would like to have. Well, just make peace with it. That's the way it is. And now we have to understand that since you know that you like and you get attached, let's choose more wisely and let's start from the group of people who are open to the idea of a relationship. Okay? That's great. Thank you so much for your contribution. Thomas. Finalmente, you're finally back. I don't know why you have a life and you leave. We don't like this when you're gone for 2 months. I feel great sadness, but I'm happy to see you back again. Okay, 4,000. All right, baby. Your opinion on this. For some reason, I believe losing yourself has to do with attachment styles trauma. Once we become more and more secured, the less it happens, right? Also, no more ex-back advice required at this point. Congratulations. First of all, thank you for your contribution. And the best present you could give me is that you really see who you are now and you're not trying to get back with somebody from your past, okay? You've so far surpassed that person that who you were then and who you are now, they couldn't begin to recognize you. And guess what? They couldn't keep up with you. So thank you so much for that. I don't follow attachment styles that much. If you don't hear me talking about something, it's because I really don't investigate it. I know they're huge right now. And if that helps you, if that theory makes sense to you, why you're anxious, why you distance, if that helps you to put everything together, then use it. I've got colleagues that's all they specialize in. They're like, this is it, this is it. Whether it's that or blah, 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 the new thing that's next year, a new thing that a therapist writes a book on, and we're going to hear all about it for the next 2 years. If you find something that can help you understand why you're doing this and helps you to see your actions and participation and helps you to become aware of, I really don't believe you need to know why you do it from your past. I think you just need to be aware of the fact that you do it and save that time and put it into the correction and make it a healthy correction. Make it one that is good for you and good for your partner too, unless they're an abusive person. I think that knowing how you function, what we're talking about is what is your romantic default. I'm an overgiver. I keep thinking as I mature, this will change. And I think at some point we have a dispositional core. And I don't think that people talk about this enough. And so that would be the one thing I would add to attachment theory, is to consider one's dispositional core. You've got the trauma, you've got the reactive, you've got the default, but then you also have somebody's disposition. That's the filter, that's the color, that's like the rising sign put on top of all the rest of the astrological stuff. So it's the filter for how you're going to do it. And I think to consider what is your disposition, what are your natural tendencies, is a good addition to this kind of work. And Thomas, you're brilliant. Thank you so much. I'm so happy for you. This is really great. Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to go on here and I'm going to keep reading your questions. Let's see. Everyone, do we have anything else? What did Amanda say? Okay, Amanda, good. You keep Rose in check here. Rose, you had a narcissist. You don't need to go back and think about that anymore. Actually, right. Are narcissist people impossible to have relationships with? Yes, yes, yes. I'm with one who shows those kinds of behaviors almost perfectly. I love him. Am I setting myself up? You may have a very self-oriented person and self-involved person. I don't know if you have a narcissist. Only you know. So do some reading on it. Get some counseling. And we tend to overuse a lot of these phrases. I mean, the word toxic, everybody comes from a toxic. There wasn't a day I wouldn't get a client. And the minute I start the session with them, I come from an abusive relationship. I'm like, oh God, I hear this every day. I hear it like 9 times a day. It doesn't matter. So we need to be careful. We're not therapists. We're not diagnosticians. The bottom line is, if you see stuff you don't like, independent of what you want to call it, you got to do something about it. If the partner is doing stuff, has a behavior that you don't like, and it cannot be corrected, and you have addressed it, and you've addressed your participation in it, you've looked at how you might handle it differently, you've done all your adjustments, you presented to them the issue, and they have not adjusted, at that point, it doesn't matter what name you put on it. You got to think about why you're there, because at this point, you're compromised. You're not getting the quality relationship you want, and they're not working with you. So part of the way that we assess a partner who's good for us, are they willing to work with us? When we present an issue, do they care enough to listen, to amend their own behavior? Do they care enough to help us with our process so we can be a better partner for them? There are times that we will ask our mate that we realize something about ourselves and say, by the way, honey, I'm really working on this. Can you, if I miss it and I go into my automatic patterns, can you catch me on that and just call me out in a good way, in a positive way? Here's what would work for me so that I won't feel reactive. If you said blah, 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 and get them to agree to help you in your own evolution, right? Okay, guys, I'm going to keep reading your questions. What do we have here? Very good advice. I'm too old-fashioned for this world. Shady Booty. I kind of don't think so. Let's see. What do we have here? Jenny A. I hold extreme anger and resentment for my ex due to losing myself. I get frustrated at people in my life sometimes. How do I heal or get over it? Jenny, was this like a 20-year marriage and you compromised yourself continually for the higher good of your family, your children? Was this a 6-month relationship? We have to put this in context, because to have this level of anger and frustration at people in general, to keep the offense in its correct, diagnosis, we can't have things out of alignment. So you can't have a little relationship where it was unhappy and then you hold the whole world against it. That's extreme. Whatever your partner did to you or didn't do that you wanted them to do, it has nothing to do with other people in your life. And I'm talking about the new people. It doesn't sound like you're hostile toward people in general. But another thing about living and learning and growing is that we have to know the things that we don't want to experience. And we have to be aware of why we left relationships. But we don't want to superimpose an ex and their bad behavior on every single person in our future, or guaranteed we have just written the story of our life. That's it. There are no good people out there. No good people. Doesn't exist. What do you think my mind is going to see? What do you think I'm going to call in energetically? I'm going to call in no good people. So whenever I hear that there are no good people left, there's nobody in the world who can't trust anybody, you guys, you got to change that narrative or you will create it. That's the story on that. Okay? What else do we have? Let's see. Done this to every boyfriend. Tokyo, VN has a question under their super chat. I missed this. Hang on. I'm going back. Thank you for letting me know. Thomas. VN, where are you? Littleman? VN. No. Oh, VN. Thank you so much, guys. Okay, because I didn't see it because all I saw was the super chat. VN. Okay. I'm in an exclusive relationship with a guy who treats me like a queen. However, he still has not deleted his profile from a dating site. He said he deactivated and not using it. Is that okay? How long have you been involved? You are in an exclusive relationship. Why do I think this is less than 3 months? Am I wrong? He's got a safety net, and that's why he hasn't done it. You need to have a discussion. If you guys are at 2 to 3 months, he's still hanging on to it. If you're at 4 to 6 months, this is an issue. Is this your boyfriend? I know you say exclusive relationship, but what exactly is your agreement? Don't think and don't assume that he wants what you want. If all you've agreed to is sexual exclusivity and he hasn't offered you a relationship or a title, you may not be getting one. And he's keeping his profile alive because he intends to go back to it at some point. However, if you are in a committed relationship where you are known and called the girlfriend, and you have been with this person 6+ months, and you've met his friends, and he's met yours, and you may have met the family or at least talked to them on the phone, and this is happening, then that person having a dating app on their site is inexcusable. But I have the sense that all you've really got right now is an agreement for sexual exclusivity. It's a great start. Don't let me depress you. But people are now, they are carving 1,000 different versions of what they're willing to do. I would rather a person be honest and say, I can give you sexual exclusivity. Not sure if I want to do a relationship. Okay, during the time I'm with you, at least I know I'm safe. Okay, I'm safe for a certain amount of this ride. So go back to the drawing board and clarify what it is, all right? And then you will have a stronger stance for why this profile is not completely off the app, okay? Thank you. Thank you for alerting me to that. Okay, Thomas, you guys write a lot. You guys write a lot. Dear Susan, how do I find myself after a toxic relationship? Wine love. In regards to self-blame, self-doubt, and ruminating, wow, I am so harsh to self. I've read self-help books, but it's so hard. Okay. Let's logic this out. You're punishing yourself because you made a mistake in choosing. Well, I've got a feeling you got fooled. I've got a feeling that your partner misrepresented themselves, which in the beginning, you know, the eyes of love, we want to see what we want to see. And we notice the red flags, but we kind of, well, they look more yellow, not really red. So one is just forgive yourself. You know, when you're done being mad at them, the most frightening feeling is how angry you are with yourself. It was not a good relationship. Okay, you can let it go. Even the best of us go through this. So try to let it go. I love the fact that you know what you're doing. I love the fact that you know that it was unhealthy. But a toxic relationship, remember, sometimes we really don't recognize what we're in until we're in the middle of it and we've totally lost ourselves. It's like the last straw. It's like a tipping. It's tipping. Everything is gaining and gaining and gaining. Then I remember I asked my girlfriend, because she had such a volatile relationship with her husband. And I watched her go through so much stuff that she should have bailed then. And I said, what was the final straw? She said, I was sitting at dinner. I just had a drink. Doesn't drink very often. She said, it was a beautiful day, my favorite restaurant. And he started in on me, just the way he loves to just pick apart people and he loves to take them off of their happy. He could tell she was happy and he just wanted to. And she said, that's it. That was the straw. So you hit your max, you left. It was toxic. You should be happy. Good. You should be rewarding yourself. Good. I noticed it. I got out. Good on me. Why are you feeling badly? You did the right thing. You see it's bad, you leave. Okay. That's a good thing. You should be jumping around, jumping for joy. Mona C, hang on, baby. 10 euros. Susan, thank you. I adore you. I was always an overgiver, but finally realized that when you're focused and in alignment with yourself, you attract better in every way possible. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Lovely, lovely, lovely. More tips for overgivers. I'm still learning. I stop myself. I am so quick to throw out resources or toys or gifts or time or energy. I catch myself all the time. And now I hear it in my head before I say it. First of all, I keep reminding myself that the poor life choices that other people have made are not my responsibility. And I'm very, very clear on the definition of who I will help and under what circumstances. So that may help you. Who I can help and under what circumstances. It is not my responsibility to pay for your car insurance because you took drugs. Not my job. Okay? I did that in the past for somebody. Not my, or so it was supposed to be for car insurance. I wrote the check to car insurance. It's not my responsibility to fund your business, especially without legal documents because you're my boyfriend. It's not my responsibility to help you see that you are on a negative spiral with alcoholism or drugs. It is my responsibility to say it, wish you the best, and if you can't get out and it's hurting my life, if you're a friend, this is not a partner, but if you're a friend of mine and explaining why I may have to evacuate from you or limit myself to specific types of environments so that I'm not uncomfortable, I can't save anybody. I try and save people all day long, but they understand the context. I'm just giving advice, right, to help them. So I get very clear and I sometimes think through to what extent would I give. Like I have an idea in my mind. I was supposed to go for Thanksgiving vacation tomorrow, a week before everything, because we're in the midst of COVID and I wanted to see my uncle before he passes. He's in a nursing home. They now have a spike. The person across the room died. I felt so badly. So I suggested something monetary to assist everybody in case we need to move him. I'm fine with that. Absolutely fine, because I can't be there. But I also know to what extent I can do that. So I put parameters around it, and I say, I love to do this for a month if we need to go someplace else. So I sometimes now have caps and I quit. If you say you'll help somebody and they're really desperate, their mind goes to help is like, they've got it like they can live with you. You're going to open up your bank account. You got to be very, very careful and very explicit about what you are willing to do and to what extent you are able to participate. But most of the time, if we're an overgiver, we feel blessed with resources. There's an overgiver that's really insecure and they give to be, important or wanted or feel like they're loved or something. But it's when you realize that it's simply giving of a resource, whether it's time or assistance or an email introduction or it's money or it's driving somebody, you're giving of yourself. And you start by what you don't want to do and you dial yourself backwards and start to notice who are people that you start to have your guard up, like something around them you kind of shut down because they're there for the wrong reasons. I did a massive purge about 15 years ago, and I stripped everybody down to about 7 people because I was just exhausted taking care of everybody else. And don't worry, you just break. At some point, you can't do it. You absolutely break. So it's like no longer possible. This is such a beautiful question, Mona. Thank you so much. We speak every week. Thank you very much. 20 pounds, my goodness. What helps is setting boundaries and not feeling guilty for them anymore. True. Not our responsibility. They've got a life. They make the choices. Why are we having to pick up the pieces, right? Your boundaries are static and should not be compromised. Yes. Yes, you're hired. You're hired. I trust myself that no matter the outcome, I'll be there for myself and we'll get through it. I love you guys. You don't need me. I'm just glad that we can all chat between ourselves. I mean, this is beautiful. So, we've learned, right? And this is a great resource. This you're having all of you to talk to. And I love the way you're chatting with each other and connecting and supporting each other. And thank you so much. I really, really love this. These are great questions. Kirsta, $10. Thank you, my dear. Hi, Susan. When do we take rejection personally and when do we not? Surely it can't always be them and not us. Oh, no, it's them. Okay. Rejection will always feel personal. It will. If it's love or romance, you're going to feel like you lost for, you weren't good enough, you weren't pretty enough, you weren't smart enough, you weren't something enough. Our first take will always be personal because we're emotional creatures and nobody wants to be discarded or left. We think it through. Those of you who are doing this work, we observe our first feelings and then we ask ourselves, is this the truth? Is there more to this story? Let me take another look. Why would this have happened? Sometimes people don't give us closure. Sometimes people don't tell us these things. And I don't know that you're talking about a breakup or anything like that. Rejection. I'm just going to say whether it's dating or it was a relationship. We have to understand that they are going to make decisions that work for them. And if we really analyze it and we take some time to figure out who they are and we know them well enough, if we're lucky to know them well enough, we may find the reason and it's not us. Sometimes it's as simple as lifestyle. I was crazy about a guy and I saw him, but he moderated who he was with me. I didn't know how into pot he was. I mean, like wake up in the morning and smoke a joint pot. And I don't do any of that. So I could never be on the same wavelength. And it would never be comfortable for a person like that to be with a person like me that doesn't do anything. So if somebody like that leaves me and I think about that or it doesn't work out, I think, no wonder. There was a lot of love there. I don't doubt that. There was a lot of affection and a lot of love. So what was it? And we can't put our finger on it. You think it through and sometimes it's very normal. It really is. They want children, you don't. You want children, they don't. It's the wrong time. Now, what if it's us? You'll know if it's you. You should know if it's you. Were you overly reactive? Were you crazy girl? Were you demanding? Were you excessively insecure? Were you bickering all the time? Did you poke at them? I had a gal on the phone the other day working with me who was aware of the fact that she would poke her mates. She didn't want to directly say, I know you're doing this. So she'd insinuate things and just jab at them. So the guy, his only response was to feel reactive, right? Because he's trying to defend himself, but nothing gets settled because she never comes out and says what it is that she's upset about. She wants him to bring it up. He's not. He's just trying to defend himself. And they love each other, but she's driving him crazy. And she was aware of it and went, I'm bad. I want to fix this. I see, I did it. I can't. How do we fix this? So I gave her another way to do it. Another way to get it done so that when you come around the circle and you want to go automatically into whatever your default is, that you catch that pattern where if you are doing your own analysis and you go, I went off, we have to have you go back, catch where that click is. It's kind of like a wheel that kind of keeps perpetuating because where's that click where it keeps going? That point, that's where we start and we give you another option. So that when you get there and you want to do your normal default, you think twice. You go, wait a minute, what else can I do? Oh, I'm here again. I don't want to do that thing. I don't want to make this guy upset. I don't want to drive her away because I'm acting cool. I want to do something differently. What's the smart thing to do here? So then we think it out. Hang on, I'm getting my glasses. I hope that helped you, sweetie. Thank you very much. We have, Let's see who else here. Okay. We did the overgiver. What is this? And we did the boundaries. I think I missed somebody in here, you guys. I hope not. Jack, thank you for the 99. Thank you very much. And a rose. I love it. I'll take the rose. Do I get a rose? Just the rose elimination. Let's see, what else do we have? I love the fact that you guys are talking to each other. Okay, so I want to tell you some things that are coming up next. First of all, if you're not already subscribed, please subscribe. And if you are subscribed, click on the notifications button. Don't ask me where it is. I don't know where that is, but it's on here someplace for the notification, because next Monday, November 16th, I have my first ever surprise for you. I have a contest. And this is going to be fun. You guys, I have a film crew. I'm going to do things differently. I want to shake this stuff up. I want to get involved. I want to hear from you. So next Monday, I'm going to be announcing this thing, and it's going to be the first of many. I do realize we are in COVID. We're going to do the best we can. There's a specific protocol. And if we can't do the things the way we want to do so that I meet the winner myself and I work with them privately, then we will do this on Zoom. But we've got some fun stuff coming up, so put on your notifications. And let's see, if you want to work with me, go to susanwinter.net or go to wherever my bio is here. You're going to see the hyperlink. I have a new thing, the Love a la carte. So this is a special where I can walk you through in an hour, and I get so excited doing this. I had my first client, I barely posted it, and I had 2 clients sign up ASAP. It's a 1-hour session with me, which I only do 45 minutes, but that's to keep the price down, right? And this is still underpriced. For my hourly price is much higher. But I want to work with you on creating a model that you can truly sustain. You guys don't realize it, but more times than not, the partner you're with just is doing what they think they should be doing. They don't even know they can't do what they can't do formula. You guys can't do formula. At some point, you're going to want to create what you know you can do. Wouldn't it be great if we had, when we first met somebody, they said, you know, I don't do monogamy, just saying, don't think you can change me. I just don't. And they would lose the first 15 people that they're with. And then the 16th person would say, wow, I've never had the courage to say that. I just break people's hearts. And yeah, I used to do that too. And I decided to be honest. You know what? I'm cool with that. So I would like you to start to consider, whether you work with me or not, consider a la carte. Consider, I've got the method. That's my formula. But I want you to think, if you are in something, it's not working, is it really what you want structurally? I have deduced the most incredible information, you guys. All the time we think it's that people can't commit. 9 times out of 10, it's the structure of whatever they're walking into that they don't like for one reason or another. And when I talk to them, I get the vibe on what it is. I was just with a woman who didn't want forever. Okay, I understand that. I kind of didn't too. I didn't want to sign up for 100 years with somebody. I want a committed relationship. We didn't know how to say this in my time period. I ended up with decades, but it didn't matter. I just, that was not my goal. The longevity was not my goal. The quality was my goal. And so she had thought that if she would enter a real relationship, that it wouldn't be fun. She loved casual dating because it was fun. I said, well, what makes you think that a relationship can't be fun? Why don't we structure it into the relationship you're going to create? It was like, ta-da! The heavens broke. I mean, she's like, I never thought of that. She had a world of casual sex is fun, but not really rewarding. I'd like a real relationship, but how can I keep it as exciting as the other stuff? And I'm like, you create it in the design. You make sure you design a committed relationship that's fun by how you design it and the energy you have when you draw somebody in. So if you're interested, that's one of the new things I do, or you can work with me on Magnifi, or you can do one of the 45-minute sessions. So before I go, I just had to do that. And let's see, dear Susan, how to pour myself the whole world's love first and then be with someone to share my life with him. That's beautiful. how to pour myself the whole world's love first and then be with someone to share my life with them. I think what you're saying is that not sure what the translation is for this, but I think what you're saying is that you have a massive love for the world and then a massive love for an individual. I hope I'm getting this right. So any last questions, anybody? If not, we're going to sign off pretty soon. I am going to be here next week, which is American Thanksgiving. I'm going to be working because my family's out of town and I didn't get to see them. It's locked down. So I'm going to be working. So if you want to join me next week and you've had your turkey or you couldn't go home as well, you were afraid to go home because you were afraid to travel now, just know that I'll be here. So we're going to talk about something next week. And I don't know what, but I think, do you guys want to talk about the love languages, the 5 love languages? How do you feel about that? I'm going to look for this. 5 love languages. Does anybody know what that is? We could talk about that. Thank you, Mona. Let's see. Somebody else says trauma. Yes, 5 love languages. Do you guys want that? You're going to be here next week. You'll be with me. Good. Sexual polarity, little extreme. I think that's not my thing, but Susan, you're so awesome. Magnify her. You rock. Thank you, Lucy. Oh, thank you, Lucy. Lucy from Greece. Okay, yes. Let's see. I'm going to do the 5 love languages. You guys, you know why? Because it is Thanksgiving in America. And one of them is appreciation, like words of affirmation. And that's important. And so I think, yes, so that's going to be next week. And I want you between now and then, those of you who are regulars, to really start to take a look at your own. If you don't know what your love language is, guaranteed, I feel it's the way you show your love to others. So you're only going to ever feel loved if somebody is expressing it in the language that is most dominant for you. And out of these 5, you'll probably have 2. So I love, words of praise and encouragement and things like that, affirmation. And I also love quality time. That is really a bonding thing for me. So this is how we give others our love, and it's how we'd like to be loved. And sometimes you and your partner can be speaking like this and to show how much they love you. And guess what? You're upset thinking, I don't think they love me. And I listen to the story and I'm like, they did this, this, and this. Yeah, but I didn't want them to clean the garage. Yeah, but they did that because they wanted to show you they loved you. Really? Yeah, that's what that is. So, okay, next week, that's what we're going to talk about. You guys, talk about love when you come from 2 different worlds. That's good too. And then I don't want to forget, I want to talk about older women and younger men. We have never talked about that. I know it so well. Oh, my love language is money. Okay, you guys, you are absolutely wonderful. Love after divorce. Okay, there's a lot of good things. I'm going to go through the notes later, and I'm going to take some of your suggestions. And you can always write to me in the community page. If you have a suggestion for videos, you can go to the contact page of Susan Winter underneath the media, because if you write a personal letter, we scrap it, and it'll say Q&A video request, and you can just click there. Just know that we get hundreds, and so I try and filter through. But you guys, you've been a wonderful audience. Thank you so much. Remember, the greatest way you can honor your partner is to retain your identity and your boundaries and your beliefs and who you are in a relationship, so that you have something full, whole, and complete to share with them, so that you're able to stand on your own, so that there's interdependence, and that they can see the fullness of who you are, and then they are free to be themselves. You don't have to do everything just like them and everything for them. We think people like that. As it turns out, they come to disrespect it because they sense that you lost yourself. So everyone, thank you for a wonderful time with you again. Mwah! I'll see you next week. Thank you for the super chat. You guys are absolutely wonderful. I love you. Bye-bye.